Hello everyone and welcome back to another segment of the Lex2be News. Happy Halloween Eve. I'm Dylan.
And I'm Sydney, and we're glad to be back with you guys for this spooky-themed episode of Lex2be. We want to say congratulations to former Students of the Month, 6th grader Jalen Bowman, 7th grader Talon Harlan, and 8th grader Hannah Harmoning. Well done.
Starting on November 1st, Busby's Beta Club will be hosting a food drive. Make sure to donate in any way that you can.
Also on November 1st, Saluda River will have their school picture day, and BC seniors will have an opportunity to snap their senior photos if they missed it the first time.
November 3rd is an early release day. Elementary and middle school students will get out at 11:45 and high school students will get out at 12:30. Dr. Wade will be hosting another virtual community engagement session on Wednesday, November 3rd at 7 p.m. They are always streamed live, but if you missed one and would like to watch, they will be posted here on our YouTube channel.
This past week was BC's homecoming. This year's float theme was music genres, and the class of 2022 brought home the gold with their rock and roll themed float. The class of 2023 won most spirit from dressing out on theme days, and Miss Humphreys won best store in the door decoration contest. On Friday, BC also crowned their homecoming king and queen. Jada Smith won homecoming queen, and our very own Dylan Whitman won homecoming king. Congratulations.
Anyone at BC who purchased a class ring will have their ring ceremony on November 4th at 6:30 in the auditorium. And on November 5th, Pine Ridge Middle will have their school picture day.
That is all for this week's news. Now into this week's COVID-19 update with Duncan and Jonathan.
Hello and welcome back to this week's COVID-19 update.
I'm Duncan Scarborough.
And I'm Jonathan Gonzalez. This is the last week of the district-wide mask mandate. When we return to school on Monday, it will no longer be in effect. Now on to this week's numbers.
As of Wednesday, October 27th, there are only 2 positive cases and 29 quarantined students and staff throughout the district. That means that the number of positive cases have gone down by 8 since last week.
The school with the highest number of cases is Wood Elementary with only 1 positive case.
The schools with the lowest number of cases are every other school in the district. Yep, that's right. 13 of the 14 schools in our district are COVID-free.
Gadzooks, that's off the Gadzooks, that's off the Gadzooks, that's off the Gadzooks, that's off the chain.
It's crazy to think how much the numbers have gone down since we've started this segment.
Hopefully our numbers will keep going down and every school will be COVID-free. There is no COVID safety tip this week. Just keep up the great work.
Well, that wraps up this week's COVID-19 update.
I'm Jonathan Gonzalez.
And I'm Duncan Scarborough.
This has been the Lex2be COVID-19 update.
Thank you for the update.
Now we go to Ashley and Aaron with their Halloween horror movie spoof. Thank you for the horror spoof that didn't have us shaking our heads.
On to a more serious note, we go to Heidi with her segment on mental health coping mechanisms.
Hello and welcome back to this week's A Talk About Mental Health. I'm Heidi Daniel.
And I'm Rashardi Harley.
Today we're going to take a look at the various coping mechanisms that students use for their mental health. We did an anonymous poll here at the Innovation Center asking students whether or not they have mental health issues. We received 139 responses. 63.3% of students who responded said that they do have mental health issues, and 36.7% of students said that they do not. Okay, so to start us off, what's your name and grade?
My name is Brian Kressel Jr. and I'm in 11th grade.
My name is Jada Lindler and I'm in 11th grade.
When your mental health is not at its best, what coping mechanisms do you find work best for you?
Well, I'd either play video games, listen to music, or exercise.
I usually talk to someone, talk to my mom, and she usually cheers me up, so yeah, that's what I do.
And do you have any general recommendations for other students who have trouble with their mental health issues?
Well, find a hobby, listen to music, because that really helps. Exercise as well.
Just talk to someone and don't feel like you're alone, because a lot of people struggle with mental health behind the scenes, and it's not just you.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
This week's mental health tip is to spend time with a pet. If you don't have a pet, hang out with a friend who does have one or volunteer at your local animal shelter.
I'm Heidi Daniel.
And I'm Rashadi Harley.
This has been a look at the various coping mechanisms that students use for their mental health.
Thank you, Heidi.
Now, Morgan will be giving us a look at the origins of Halloween.
Hello, I'm Morgan with Lex2be News, and as Halloween is right around the corner, I decided to give a brief history of the spooky holiday. The origins of Halloween can be tracked back 2,000 years ago to the ancient Celtic celebration of Samhain. The Celts celebrated their new year on November 1st, so they celebrated Samhain on October 31st, when it was thought that the spirits of the dead returned to earth. On that night, the Celts constructed mass sacred bonfires to celebrate the festival, where people came to burn crops and animals as sacrifice to the Celtic gods. By the 9th century, Christianity has expanded throughout Celtic territories, blending with and displacing ancient Celtic ceremonies. The church declared November 1st to be All Souls' Day, a day to honor the dead, with large bonfires, parades, and people dressed up as saints, angels, and demons. The All Saints' Day festival was also known as All Hallows or All Hallows Mass, and the night before became known as All Hallows Eve, and finally, Halloween. During the 19th century, because of the strict Protestant belief system in colonial New England, Halloween celebrations were severely confined. Throughout the second part of the 19th century, America was inundated with new immigrants. These newcomers, particularly the millions of Irish escaping the Irish potato famine, helped to promote Halloween across the United States. And speaking of Halloween, when asking people's opinion on Halloween, 97.4% of people liked Halloween, while 2.6% of people did not. This has been Morgan with Lex2be News.
Thank you, Morgan.
Now to Craig and Veronica with their Halloween costume contest.
Hello, I'm Veronica with Lex2be News, and today I am here with Craig, Jonathan, Brian, Nathan, and Miss Reamer, along with our judges, Rishardia, Kaylin, and Sydney, for our Halloween costume contest. Up next we have Craig Jackson, dressed up as Bird Person. The judges give this frightening costume a... Up next, we have Nathan Weiner, dressed as... I'm not sure. Nathan's creatively weird costume is given a... Up next, we have our very own Miss Reamer, dressed as Lex2be Thor. The judges give her nice costume a... Now last but certainly not least, we have Brian Kreisel, dressed as Dr. Doofenshmirtz from Phineas and Ferb.
Ah, Betty the Platypus. You'll be jealous of my Drippinator.
Oh my god, that made it 10 times better!
I think I hear 11. 10.9.
Brian's creative costume was rated A. These were some super creative and unique costumes, but unfortunately we can only pick one. And the winner is Brian.
This is the first time I won.
Thank you guys.
Now to Ready, Set, Score with Lex2be.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Ready, Set, Score. Last Friday, the Bearcats celebrated their homecoming with a matchup against region opponent Swansea. With a score of 44-0, the Bearcats ended their homecoming with a win. Congratulations, guys.
Also last Friday, the Eagles had their final matchup with the region opponent South Aiken. The game resulted with a score of 50-12 with Aiken taking the win. Congratulations on a hard fight, guys.
Tonight, the Airport Varsity Eagles play against Bamberg Earhart High School. During the non-region matchup, the Eagles will fight against the undefeated 1A Red Raiders. The game is at Bamberg Earhart and begins at 7:30. Good luck, Eagles.
Tonight here in Casey, the Brooklyn-Casey Varsity Bearcats take on Orangeburg-Wilkinson for the region championship. Currently, the Bearcats are in a 4-way tie for the first in the region. With a win tonight, the Bearcats secure home playoff games for the rest of the season. The game begins at 7:30 at Fort Knox and the theme is Western. Come out and support the Bearcats.
Last week, the BC varsity volleyball team traveled to Myrtle Beach to participate in the first round of the South Carolina High School League 3A playoffs. The girls fought hard but fell to Waccamaw. Congratulations on a great season, ladies.
Congratulations to BC cross-country runner Luke Long for placing second in the region at the region meet on Wednesday and for running his PR time of 18:22. And to Sydney Arlett for placing third in the region for girls and running her PR time of 23:09.
The Bearcats ladies tennis team advanced to the second round of the playoffs after defeating Aner and faced off against Bishop England. Unfortunately, the Lady Bearcats were overmatched. Way to go, Bearcats, for the hard-fought season.
And that is all for this week's Ready, Set, Score. Thank you for watching this week's episode.
We hope you all enjoyed this week's spooky theme episode, and we can't wait to see you back here next week.
Ha 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 ha.